Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Zubair Altaf Qureshi, and in this video I am going to show you how to activate the Eval license of the Fortinet firewall. In the previous video you have seen how to add the firewall inside the EVNG, but that firewall is not licensed, so you get a 15-day Eval license from Fortinet. In this video I'm going to show you how to activate that license, because for 7.2.1 the procedure is a bit different, but if you go for any version below it, like say 7.1 or something, that has a 15-day eval license pre-activated, but for the 7.2.1 you have to activate it, and there's a procedure for that. So what I have done right now is I have just taken a simple topology, right? One firewall and one this network, right? So what I've done is I've taken this as a network and connected to management cloud. So I'll be using port 1 to connect to the internet from the firewall, right? Admin, and the password is nothing. Let's have a new password, admin123, admin123. Done. Now here what you need to do is you need to basically go and configure the port 1, uh, and you need to have a static route which will be pointing towards the from the port 1 to the internet, and then you will need to have the DNS setup. Okay, so let's see what needs to be done here. So first of all, let's configure the interface, right? So let's configure the interface. Config system interface, edit port 1, and here set mode as mode static. First we will say that this is static IP address. Set now IP not the VDOM. Set I hit the question mark just to see so you can go here and now set the IP address, right? So I have the command is set, and the IP, I think the IP hyphen address is the command IP hyphen address. So the command would be set IP and the IP. Let's set it as 192.168.1.111, and then you set the net mask, which is 255.255.255.0, or even you can do the CIDR. So that is how you set the IP address on an interface. Then you have to set the protocols that are allowed on that interface. For me, HTTP, HTTPS. So for on 7.2.1, this is allowed by default. So if you are in port 1 and say show, you see the I've not set these, right? These are by default here, but for any version below this you have to enable HTTP, because by default the HTTPS will not work in an unlicensed firewall. So you have to work on the HTTP. For that you have to allow HTTP first. So in other firewalls you will have to do set allow access HTTP, but remember, if you just do HTTP, is going to override all the others. So you have to also copy paste all of these, right? Whatever there are, these ones. So you will just copy and then you will paste it here like this, and then remove the one that is not mentioned, or that's it. That's how you do it, right? So that is what you need to do on the interface. Then just hit on end and come out of the interface config mode. Now then next you have to do is the DNS, right? So to configure the DNS, what you do is you say config system and then you say DNS. Okay, and then enter. Now here you have to configure the primary and secondary. So first primary, so I'll say, sorry, set primary as I'll set Google 888, and then set secondary as 4.2.2.2. So your DNS is configured now. Now let's go and configure a route. So to configure a route, the command would be router static. So config router static, right? So you'll do this, and then you have to say edit 1. Remember, edit 1, okay? And then you set the port. whichever port you are using to um, access the internet. For me it's port 1. So if you're connecting this to port 2, 3, whatever, you have to set that device, right? So I'll say set device port 1, and then I will say set gateway. So for me the gateway, default gateway is my router IP address, the home router. So this is the one, and then end. Yeah, now let's see, execute ping. First of all, let's try this, and this is working. So my firewall is able to reach the internet, right? And then after that I can try the DNS is working or not. So I can go to www.google.com. Cool. So my DNS and my internet reachability is set. Now you can set NTP as well, but that is not mandatory. Um, so once this is done, now you can go and log into your firewall. So I'll go here and say 192.168.1.111, and this should be on HTTP because HTTP is not going to work by default. So admin 123 is my password. I'm going in. Now see, here it is not going to work without license, so you have to you don't have any option, you have to activate the eval license. Now here you can say activate eval license, and you can see this is the limitation. 1 CPU and 2 GB of RAM is the max you can go for this. You can read about the eval license more over here. Okay, and now to activate the eval license you have to specify your email ID that you have in your portal. Okay, hopefully I have this one as my password, and I'll say okay. Now for this, let's log into the portal as well. Okay, here should have logged in earlier before doing this. Okay, that's great. So I'll go here and I'll say login. Okay, now I'm inside my FortiCloud asset management. I will have to go to the products and my assets. As I can see, I have one Fortinet already activated. So what I can do is I can go and delete this one first. So here you can see also how you can um, deregister, you can say, right? So you just click here, view options. I think click on that. Let's see. Yeah, so you can just decommission this unit here. Okay, decommission and continue. Once this is done, now you can, because at a time you can have only one eval license activated for this version, for free if you want, right? So I can just now connect to my FortiCloud and enter the password here and say okay. And now it will the system will reboot. This will connect to the cloud and the system will reboot, and you will see an asset here within after the reboot. Now yeah, it came up here, and yeah, so you can see the, so this is if you have a eval and then it gets expired after like say 15 days, then you can again add a new one and decom the earlier one and add a new one, right? So you can see that. So I have a new one which started registration this on this date, and the expiration would be uh, mentioned inside. If I click here and let's see the details. So what all features you have uh, for the firewall will be shown here, and also the firewall will be sending data to the cloud, FortiCloud, and you will see the top 20 viruses. So this is a statistics which is being pulled from the firewall to the cloud, FortiCloud, right? So now once this is done, I'll go and log in with my username and password, and this time I will be um, prompted for the setup. So I'll say begin. Now this is the name. If you see, this same name should be here. Yeah, this is the same name, and you can change it here, but let me just keep it as default and go with the default settings. And finally we are on the dashboard. So yeah, that is how you activate your eval license in the new code 7.2.1. And now you can continue the labs, right? You can have network settings. This is the dashboard basically. So you can go to the network, you want to configure the interfaces, you can configure it from here. By default, for this version you have only 3 ports, remember, only 3 ports. So if you want more than that, you should use a version which is below this one, so say 7.1 something, right? Now 7.2. So those are the limitations. You have only 3 ports in the eval, and the rest, every features should be working fine. Okay, that's all for this video. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.